Hey everyone, welcome back to round 6 of the Portland, Oregon Regional Championships. My name is Kenny Wisdom, bringing you a feature match between Sorina, Radu and Sam Chen. We featured Sam earlier on the stream, so you guys probably already know a lot about him. Current top 16 master. He's in his Worlds Invite already, just hoping to lock up that top 16 spot for the Day 2 entry and the flight. And on the other side of the table, we have Sorina Radu, who has been featured in a few streams. She also did commentary with me during the last round. Sorina is going for her first Worlds Invite this year. She hasn't quite gotten there in past years, and this year she's really buckling down and taking it seriously. She has just over 200 points, so she has a pretty realistic shot at that. And Sam, as we know, is playing the Fighting Crobat deck, and Sorina is playing Yveltal Seismitoad. So it looks like Sam starts off by just attaching a muscle band and the strong energy onto the Hawlucha and passing, where Sorina is getting a pretty solid start here. Misses the Crushing Hammer flip, but hits the enhanced. Darken muscle band on her active Yveltal, along with a a Burbank City Gym in play. There's the Hypnotoxic Laser. Gets a Tails. Considering dropping the Keldeo, but doesn't want another target for Sam's Crobat shenanigans if she can help it. And there's a Karina from Sam. Have to imagine it's getting a computer search or something that will let him get going in the game. He didn't play a supporter on his first turn, so I'm going to take some time to consider his options. Not sure what Sam's real ideal start is here versus the Yveltal deck. Yveltal is resistant to fighting, so might be an uphill battle for Sam, but he also has a lot more efficient attackers in Hawlucha, as you see there, and Landorus, which, well, maybe not as powerful as Yveltal, are certainly a little bit more quick, a little bit more directly powerful. There's Lucario for Sam. And wasn't quite sure what that card was. Perhaps an Ultra Ball. I missed that one. And there's a... Oh, it looks like he Ultra Balled, getting him Electric. So if he has a Lightning Energy for the Manectric, he will be off to a pretty good start here. Just has the Fighting for it, and have to find the Lightning a little bit later. Evolves into Golbat. 2 damage counters on, I have to imagine, the active Yveltal. Retreats. There's the Fighting Stadium. And going to attack for 40 on the Yveltal. So Sorina, now that Sam has found the Yveltal, Sorina's kind of on the back foot here. Most of her deck is... Most of her deck is going to have a hard time getting through that Yveltal, but hopefully she can get a quick getting through that Manectric. Hopefully she can get a Yveltal knockout. There's the Hypnotoxic Laser. And a Heads. Then 120 damage on the Manectric after the poison takes effect. Sam needs to flip. And he wakes up. So Sorina being able to Y-Cyclone that energy off is really going to help her not quite lose her board to just a one Manectric. Being able to kind of, similar to how we talked about Fairies does last round, she can have some control over her energy and manipulate that a bit so that if the Manectric does get a big knockout, at least it won't be completely devastating to everything she's set up. Sam evolves into Crobat. Puts the 3 on the active Yveltal. And Professor Sycamore for 7 new cards. So Sam drops a Zubat onto the bench. There's a strong energy on the Lucario. And just going to go ahead and deal 40 more damage after weakness. So we've seen a pretty sharp uptick in the fighting Crobat deck at this tournament. It's always sort of been popular. Different Crobat variants have been popular in the Northwest, and at this event there's quite a few of them, I've been told. Haven't really had the chance to go away and look at the top tables, but I've been told it's quite a big percentage of the field, which is interesting. I don't think it's a deck that's maybe played as much elsewhere, though. I could be wrong. In Sorina's deck, she's playing Sagittoad. I know you can't tell that by her board, but she does have a few copies of that guy in there. So pretty standard deck on her side. And that Manectric, Sorina can find another energy. Will be knocked out, but Sam's going to have the follow-up Lucario. Sorina Ultra Balling, just getting another copy of Yveltal EX. And there's second energy, and there is the N. So Sorina is going to be taking 2 prizes this turn, so the N is best timed for now. Going to reset her up to 6, and she'll draw 2 more off the prizes. Both of these players. Again, Sorina's looking a top 8 will seal her World's Invite for her, or a pair of top 16s, and Sam Chen just obviously the top 16 in North America is up in the air, but he has a pretty strong position at the moment, and winning this event or even top 8ing would probably lock him for it. Don't think he would stop playing at that point, but the not having to worry about travel accommodations as well as a day 1 buy is just an incredible advantage. And Sam's already one of the best players in the world, so having basically a 9-round buy into the tournament is just would put him in a much better place than maybe he's finished at the last few years' World Championships. And there's the knockout. Sam taking a minute to promote. Once the Hawlucha has free retreat, I'm not really losing anything by doing that. So with the Yveltal at 130 damage, it's going to take a few of the Golbat and Crobat abilities to be able to knock it out this turn. Its resistance to fighting certainly doesn't help. But there is a fighting energy on the... Oh, looks like Sam considering dropping the fighting energy, but wanted to take a look through his deck first and see... Take a look at his discard pile, rather, first. Fighting on Hawlucha. Drops a Zubat and plays an N. So, like we talked about earlier, Sorina dropping that, or playing that N last turn was ideal for her, because every N in her deck only gets worse for the next few turns, and 4 cards is 5 cards after her draw step. Certainly isn't a bad place to be, but whenever you can put your opponent at a card disadvantage is definitely something you want to do. And Sorina has plenty of supporters. Ends have actually become a little bit weaker, I think, since the printing of Versus Seeker. You just have so many more copies of the best supporters in your deck that an advantage is still definitely a thing, and coming from behind with a big N still exists, but now that everyone just plays multiple copies of Versus Seeker, you just have such a higher chance of being able to recur your supporters off of any given N. And there's the knockout. Both players tied up. Draw step for Sorina is a double colorless energy. So the sort of fortunate thing for Sam here is I believe that any disadvantage that he has based on Yveltal resisting his Pokemon, he can sort of gain back in that he has Haluchas. So it's a 1-prize Pokemon versus a 2-prize Pokemon there, as we're seeing now. And the fact that he can drop the Golbats and Crobats, which not only allow him to kind of mitigate the resistance damage, because he can always drop a Golbat, do 2 more, and then it's like resistance never happened, but he can also decide where that damage goes. He can do 30 with a Crobat, and I wouldn't say maybe it's an advantage for him, but it certainly is helpful, and certainly is one of the things that makes this matchup a little bit better. Computer search for Sorina. Sorina decides to play the Seismitoad. This might be the place where she wants to start attacking with Seismitoad. I'm not well versed enough with Sam's deck to exactly know if that's the decision she wants to make. The fear that she would have, I believe, if she starts attacking with Seismitoad is that the Halucha would just be able to go, okay, well, I see that I can't play items, and now I'll hit you for a bunch of damage. So that's the fear that she's going to have. It might be better for her to just stick with the Yveltals and just, although she is trading 2 prizes for 1 in a lot of ways, she has a much powerful, much less fragile attacker. There's a Y-Cyclone. Sam promotes a Zubat. And looks like a Karina on Sam's side. Gonna go ahead and get him a fighting Pokemon and an item. Sam taking a minute to consider his options. Sam seems to be having a little bit of energy struggles this game. Hopefully that will be mitigated by the professor's letter. Drawing him 2 fighting energies now. So Sam can attach to the Lucario this turn. And he's still in a rough position. Oh, he's just another Halucha, actually. And another Lucario to fill his bench. Tried to hit the Super Scoop Up and failed. The unfortunate thing for Sam here is that I think... So, okay, Sorina forgot to apply the Fighting Stadium, but it's all fixed now. So Sorina, let's see, what are Sorina's options? She can attach a double colorless that she just drew. Evil Ball for 100 and then get responded to. Alternatively, she can... What she may end up doing is attaching the double colorless, Y-Cycloning the Dark onto the other Yveltal, or even the double colorless, depending on what's in her hand. And then having although she has the laser in her hand as well. So a lot will depend on this laser flip. So it's Tails. Sam is still, of course, poisoned. And there's an N. So putting herself down to 3 cards, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And I think her safest bet at this point is to, depending on what she draws, especially if she has outs to a Dark Energy, is to Y-Cyclone the DCE onto the second Yveltal, and then, yes, Sam will be able to knock out the active one, but she will be in a much more advantageous position after the knockouts occur. And that Crushing Hammer is actually going to be a big game here if she can knock that energy off of Sam with only 4 cards in his hand left, and he's been struggling with energy all day. But she does get the tails there, and yeah, it looks like. So Sorina has no Dark Energy in her hand, only 2 cards in hand, no draw cards, and wisely decides to move the Dark Energy off of the Y-Cyclone. Yveltal EX can attack with a Dark, so she could find herself in a position where she has 2 DCEs on the benched one, and then actually can attack. And that's actually a huge flip for Sam. Super scoop up flip. Undoes all of Sorina's work last turn and undoes the poison on the Lucario. Absolutely huge for Sam. And now Lucario is going to have no damage on it and going to be able to respond to that Yveltal. And then we see a similar situation that Sorina was in last turn, where she can trade with the Yveltal, or sorry, she can trade with the Lucario and have a much better board state, except for she very well may not have a much better board state, especially with 2 cards in hand. Although if one of her cards is an Ultra Ball, she can Ultra Ball away whatever she gets for a Jirachi that will grab her supporter. And there's the go back. Going to put 2 on the bench, Yveltal. Players bantering back and forth. Sam and Sorina have been pretty good friends for a few years now. I first met Sam at Nationals 2012, which I assume is where Sorina also met him as well. 2012? Yes, 2012, right before the Hawaii Worlds. Sam's.
Hey, checking tomorrow for the video game part, or can you do that?
The video game part was earlier today.
Oh,
It was today.
It was today?
Mm-hmm.
Not tomorrow.
Sorina taking a look through Sam's discard pile. She does have an Ultra Ball in hand. She's holding her cards upside down, so I can't actually tell what they are. But she can go get a Jirachi and go get a supporter. The downside to that is that Sam could very easily knock out the Jirachi with just a Lysander and energy, so she needs to be wary of that. That's probably what she's looking through his discard pile for, is just see how many Lysanders he's played, how many energies he's played, what the chances of that happening are. Either player is going to be safe with a loss. With a loss or a draw, actually, players are going to be fine, but with a loss, you're probably going to have to win out. 6-1-1 should be safe. 4 top 8, but 6-2 may not be, and I don't think 5-2-1 would be. So I guess either way it happens, neither player is eliminated, but one is certainly going to be have a much harder battle. And at 5-0-1, you just need to win one more match. You can easily lose your next match and then win your next one and be just fine. And so he decided to go for the Jirachi, getting a Juniper. Sorina playing Crushing Hammer here also lets her be a lot more loose with this Jirachi. Sam cutting her deck. So we're dropping the DCE on the Seismitoad there. A Evil Ball from that point would not be a knockout, so she just has to try and go for the more conservative play. Like we said, she is leaving herself open. That Jirachi is quite the liability. But Sam taking his time. I think Sam not being able to play items here is just put him in a rough spot. He can't play the super scoop ups, can't play the scoop up cyclone, things like that his deck is kind of made to play. You can see Sam putting his elbow on the table, his head in his hand, just trying to consider his best options. He does end up playing an AZ to replay that Zubat and that Crobat on the bench Golbat. That will be Sam's supporter play for the turn. And because of Quaking Punch, he can't play any items. And there's this second Golbat, or sorry, second Crobat. Stem, so deciding where to place that damage. Throws it on the Seismitoad EX. Sam carefully considering. Sorina does draw a Versus Seeker. Playing the end, well, getting the end. Playing the end puts Sam down to 2 cards. But I'm not sure how much that actually matters. The thing that Sorina has to worry about now is Sam just attacking and winning. You know, putting him into 2 cards and then playing, then Quaking Punching doesn't really do as much as you'd like because he already can't play so many of the cards in his deck. And there's a third energy on the Seismitoad. Definitely has to retreat that guy this turn, and I don't think there's a combination of cards that can get her the knockout with Yveltal this turn. Although I suppose a DCE Laser Burbank would actually get there. But Sorina does not draw the perfect, so doesn't quite get there. And Sorina retreating the Seismitoad. It looks like can't really afford not to. And just ships the turn back. And with only 2 cards in his hand, can't quite see what they are. I imagine if there was any kind of supporter, he would have slammed it. I think he's just considering what he can do with them now. A Golbat Crobat would actually just win him the game outright, but he can't quite get that. He can play items now, so if he does have any useful items. He has a Versus Seeker for the Lysander. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting that Sam took that long to make the decision, but Sam Chen does go up 1 game versus Sorina Radu. As always, On the Bubble is brought to you by Top Cut Central. Check out topcutcentral.com for all your needs. We have sealed products, singles, accessories, sleeves, whatever you'd like. We have an extensive buy list. If you want to sell your cards, check out topcutcentral.com. Also, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/onthebubblepokemon. Subscribing there really helps us out. We have a lot of hours and hours and hours of archived footage. Featuring many matches by Sam, even some commentary by Sam, and a few matches by Sorina, and soon to be some commentary by Sorina. All of the matches from today, if you've missed any, will be on the YouTube in a few days. Be sure to check that out. Both players shuffling up for game 2. And I think Sorina's sort of in a tough position because I see Sam telling Sorina her deck is officially burned. Which is not a legal status condition, just so everyone is aware. Both players drawing their opening hands. Looks like Sorina's going to take a mulligan, giving Sam an extra card. I have to assume Sorina will choose to go first. And a quick shuffle. Both of these players are aware of how much time matters here. Sorina with a seismitoad start. Ooh, Laser Verbank turn 1 for Sorina. Can't really ask for more than that with the DCE as well. And I see she had Hammer, Ultra Ball, and Spiritomb in hand. Decides to Juniper it away, draw some more cards, hopefully get another bench Pokemon. Non-EX Yveltal is pretty great there. Sorina attaches the Muscle Band as Sam throws his hand down in disgust. Pretty ideal start for the Toad player. Sam draws his card. Zubat on the bench. Sam pretending there's a broken time space in play. And playing them all, but ending them back in. Players resolving their end. Looking over the standings from this round, Chase Maloney sits atop the heap at 5-0, tied with Kyle Thomas also at 5-0. Then we have a couple of 4-0-1s, Sorina, Koichi, Marcus, and Jacob Van Wagner, as well as Sam Chen himself. Drevis Umtuch leads the pack of 4-1s, along with Chen Jiang, Trevor Reed, Nathan Beck, Jordan Stoddard and Ricky Gao, Polo Lee, Royce Mapes, and Michael Chen. So first page of these standings is pretty stacked here. And Sam starts off his first turn by not doing a whole lot. Sorina tries to hit a pretty crucial crushing hammer and misses. And there's a computer search, discarding 2 darks. Definitely where Sorina wants to be with that non-EX Yveltal on her bench. A lot of friendly banter in this game, as I said. Sorina and Sam have been friends for a very long time. Getting a Juniper off the computer search, DCE onto the Yveltal EX, and discarding a Jirachi, the Juniper. Another shot at a Crushing Hammer will be really nice this turn, setting Sam back as far as she can. Oh, and another oh wait. Nope, looks like it was the heads. Mistook Sorina's excitement for disgusted excitement when it was actually actual excitement. So, no energy on Sam's side of the field. Seismitoad hitting for 50 along with Poison. And Sam's definitely not looking great. An end here, hopefully help him out. Draw some better cards. If Sam continues to struggle, though, for just a few more turns, that Yveltal could very well take over the game. Luckily, I think Sam has a lot of kind of tricky outs with his bats. He can, you know, there's no damage on the board yet, but if he starts to get somewhere, he has the bats to kind of help him out and maybe get knockouts where other decks couldn't have. Sorina implementing the no-look N. And there's the knockout via the Poison. Sam promotes a Zubat. Sam tries to deal 100 damage, or 110 damage with his hand carrying some dice, but Sorina informs him that's not a legal Pokemon attack. It's not how the rules work, buddy. Time to go home. Maybe that's how things are done in New York, but not here in beautiful Portland, Oregon. There's another Crushing Hammer and a Tails. So that one would have been pretty great, but we can't win them all. And there's an Ultra Ball. Doing a quick discard pile check, probably considering whether she can afford to discard that Lysander or she should just go for the Verbank, which she does. Sam does play Fighting Stadium. I'm not sure how many, but that Verbank is probably safe for a while. And a Mewtwo from Sorina. That actually is a really interesting choice by her. It is very powerful versus Lucario. It's definitely going to make Sam take a second look at the fields and kind of consider what he needs to do. Lucario, of course, being weak to Mewtwo means that Sam can't really go all in on a big Lucario for fear of just losing it to a double colorless up Mewtwo, which is something that's certainly happened before. Sam Chen throwing his active Zubat away, deciding he's had enough of it. But Sorina, still considering her options, just decides to go ahead and Quaking Punch to keep the lock on Sam. Ooh, top deck's the Fighting Stadium. I guess that verbank's not safe for long. And here's the N. The players shuffling up. So we need 3 cards to Sam 6. And go back, gonna put 2 damage counters somewhere. Not sure what Sam's plan is here, but I imagine it just has to go on the active, which is what he did. Just has to try and deal with that Toad. I don't think Sam is in a very solid position to win this game, especially given that Mewtwo of Sorina's and that big Yveltal on the bench. But you gotta play to your outs. And there's a laser. And Sorina just terrible percentage on coin flips today. Just can't win a flip to save her life. Looks like she's played 3 crushing hammers so far. Second Yveltal EX on the bench. Considers DC on the Mewtwo, decides to go with the Yveltal. Sam drops a Landorus. Evolves into Crobat. That will give Sam a knockout this turn. And an energy on the Landorus. So Sam's trying his best to make a comeback. He's now only down 1 prize, and Sorina's board state's still much far superior, but Sam is doing what he can. Sorina only has 2 cards in hand. So if Sam can find a way to figure out this board, I mean, Sorina's not drawing too well at the moment. You know, she bricks a few more draw steps, and Sam could take over the game.